Alright, so this is a video response to Nikon 777 talking about having issues with his forends on his ARs. Wiggle, wobble, whatever the problem actually was. Said he was considering going the free float route. I have two examples here that I could show just so he has a little bit of info so he can make a decision on what would suit him the best. This one here is my wife's rifle. That's a Yankee Hill rail. The one thing to note about this one specifically is it does require a proprietary barrel nut. This entire rail, actually there's threads on the barrel nut right here. You tighten the barrel nut down and this whole rail threads onto it to a set point. These flathead screws, one on either side, go into the barrel nut and lock it for rotation. And then there's a jam nut on the back. That's what this is. You see the little tooth right here. That's what, for the Yankee Hill tool. What you do have to have a Yankee Hill tool to take this on and off. Well, you don't have to. You could just use a normal spanner wrench on that and it would work. And then the barrel nut just requires the three studs on an armorer's wrench. That's one example. There is no movement in this entire rail. Nothing touches that barrel at all. As you can see underneath there, that is the normal A-frame kind of front sight that has been cut down so the rail will fit around it. I just cut it down, painted it with some engine enamel. I've got probably close to 1,400 rounds through the barrel, 14, 16, somewhere around there, and that paint looks pretty much just the same as when I put it on there, so I don't have any problem with that. So there's one. It doesn't come in that color. I mean, that's probably obvious to most people, but it just comes in black. I'm pretty sure they don't even have a flat dark earth pattern for it. I did the paint. All that crap. So there's one example. I do really like it. With the Troy rail that you had on the one rifle that you were showing wiggling, this one's about the same diameter, real close to it. Maybe just a little bit bigger right here, but as far as the distance from the Picatinny to Picatinny, it's probably really close to what you're used to already. Another example is a Troy. This is a Yankee Hill, or not Yankee Hill, duh. This is a VTAC, Troy VTAC. This is on a 10.5 inch upper with a 9-inch flat dark earth. This is Cerakote that it comes in. This also requires a proprietary barrel nut, which when you buy the rail, they give you the tool. It's really, really simple to do. That again is another, let me get some light on there. That's another gas block that I just cut down. Oh, by the way, I like that a lot better than any kind of low profile gas block because it's still pinned. It still uses taper pins to hold it in so it stays centered perfectly every single time. It's a pain in the butt to get in and out, yes, but that means it's a pain in the butt for it to come loose on you. So I like that a lot better. So that's what both of my rifles have. I've also put these kinds of rails. This is a TRX battle rail, I'm pretty sure is what it's called, and this is the VTAC. The only difference is there's slots instead of round holes. The round holes, really, there is more places for you to put your little rails. Also, there is more ventilation, I feel. I've put 3 of these on 3 other rifles, aside from this one. So, 2 of those other ones were the TRXs. I think I like those a little bit better than the VTAC, just because there's more opening for air to flow through it. Secondly, or next as far as the barrel nut goes, they do give you the tool. You do have to take your front sight off, which I was going to anyway because I'm not putting a low pro gas block on it. Take it off, cut it down. You got to take the bayonet lug off the front of it, or the back of it, and you have to take the sling swivel off as well. Finish that all up, paint it. This one has around, I think this one's right under 1,000. Flawless as far as the sight block goes, flawless as far as the rail goes. There is absolutely no play in these rails either. I do like these a lot better than that, just because of diameter. I mean, realistically, if this wasn't so short, if I was using like a 14.5 barrel with a 13-inch rail, I would not have that on there. Just wrap C-clamping or thumbs forward, perfect. This is the most comfortable most comfortable AR I've ever shot, so strongly recommend that one. Also, something else to take into account, since you already have a normal barrel nut, a stock barrel nut on there with a delta ring, another option is the new TRX or Troy Alpha rail, which does not require a barrel nut. You could cut your delta ring and the springs off of it, off of your current barrel nut, and instead of having these two little screws down here, it's got two Allen bolts on either side that clamp onto the stock barrel nut. So you would essentially just be able to cut down your front sight and put whatever length rail you want on there. I've seen out to 15-inch Alpha rails, so they're not that available as far as I can tell, but that's what I want on that. My wife likes that better though, so that's how it's going to stay. 16-inch with a 15-inch rail I think is awesome. 13-inch rail for a 14.5-inch upper, 9-inch rail for a 10.5-inch upper, however you want to set it up. That's what I would recommend, mostly because you don't need, or the Alpha rail is what I would recommend to you, just because you don't need to take it apart. Makes it really simple. You just grind that sight down, cut your delta ring and your springs, and take that lock ring off the back of the delta ring. Good to go. And you have full free float. There's absolutely nothing touching the inside of there, even though it's so trim and skinny. Nothing touches it at all. So there's my input. Good luck, man.